Hi everybody, welcome back. We're at DuPage River Park, right along the DuPage River, the east branch of the DuPage River, between Naperville and Bolingbrook, not far from where our last photo video took place. Today I'm bringing out one camera and one lens, kind of giving myself a challenge. Usually I like to bring a bag and have some options, but I've got my trusty Olympus OM-D E-M1 II, the micro 4/3 camera that is 10 or 11 years old. New to me, of course. I'm usually a Canon shooter, just so you know, but I'm really fascinated by this micro 4/3 system. Got a budget lens I want to share with you. It's the 40 to 150 f4 to f5.6. Tiny, light as a feather, and cheap as can be. I bought this thing for less than $100 on, I think it was MPB. Great shape, no scratches or anything. It's really in perfect condition, but it's just, like I said, very affordable, and it's pretty darn sharp, but we're going to put it to the test today. All right, let's do this. It's a beautiful park, beautiful river, beautiful nature area here in the middle of the western Chicago suburbs. Of course, I'm eager to take some shots, so let's see what the oh, there's somebody coming down the trail. We'll wait on them. Maybe get a shot of this path. All right, just for the record, I'm going to go into manual mode. We'll set the shutter at about 200, 1/200th of a second. F-stop around 5.6, and auto ISO. Let's see what this looks like. Zoomed in right now to 62 millimeters on this 40 to 150. Of course, 62 is 124 in full frame terms. I need to change my autofocus though. Let's drop it down to the center square. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Not bad. Not bad at all. I'll know more when I get back to the computer, but I am truly amazed at the sharpness of this cheap lens, and a cheap camera at that. Maybe something like this with the clearing and the trees behind it. I don't know. Sometimes I can see compositions, and sometimes I think I see one and I hold the camera up and I'm like, what the hell was I thinking? Yeah, this is just amazing. It's dropped a little bit. It's 44 degrees right now, but it was 50 plus earlier today on January 5th. Almost unheard of. Usually we get one January thaw, I guess. I'm sure it'll be snowing next week. It's kind of a neat old thing. Anybody know what that is? Is it a fire pit? The top to a well? I have no idea. But let's take a picture of it. Now, since I only brought the one lens, I have to back up a little bit because 40 is the lowest I can go. Do one vertical and then one like that. All right. Hear the geese. Oh, look at that shot. It's beautiful. Sun's going to be setting in 30 or 40 minutes. Yeah, this is underexposed, but I'm going to keep it that way for at least one shot. And then we'll lower the shutter down to 100, lower the aperture down a little bit, and get one that's a little bit exposed a little bit better. Sometimes I like that underexposure look with the sun on the water. An ice patch here. Look at the size of this old tree. All right, the trick here is to not fall down. No guarantees. Check out that old tree out there. Focus point over a little bit. At the very least, if this is someplace you've never been before, now you've seen it, DuPage River Park. I don't know if you can see that way, Bolingbrook is just over there. The river winds around and then Bolingbrook's right on the other side of the river. Another angle of this old tree stump. Not seeing any ducks or geese. Nothing that wants their picture taken right now. Now this lens does not have image stabilization, but that's actually fine because these Olympus cameras, even the old ones like this, have the best image stabilization I've ever seen or heard of. And I'm going to demonstrate it for you here. Let's take our shutter speed down to this is 1 second. I'll pull the ISO up to probably should have brought a ND filter. Let's try ISO 64. Go up to like F16. I wouldn't advise this. I'm at 2 seconds now. Let's raise it up a little bit. Let's go back to like 1/2 a second, maybe. Still gonna be a little bit overexposed. What I'm trying to do is get some of the water flow in here. Probably not gonna happen. But what I will be able to show you is the sharpness of this at 1/2 second. Yeah, I need some ND action there for what I was going to do, but you can still see how sharp the photo is even though it's overexposed. All right, let's go back to some normal settings. Let's go back to there's 1/8 of a second. It's still sharp, but we still don't get the water flow. I need to go a little bit slower on the shutter speed for that. I can't do that right now without an ND filter. So let's go back to 1/100th. We'll drop it down to f6.3 and bump the ISO back to auto and let it make its own decisions here. And let's keep walking. There's an airplane. Let's test the zoom lens. Just look at that. Just as sharp as can be. For like 80 bucks. This is one of those lenses that I'd probably say if you have a micro four thirds camera, everyone should probably have this lens. You'll use it at some point. It's not weather sealed. Not something you're going to take out in the rain or snow. Of course the camera is, but the lens is not. You can hear the water trickling there. Very relaxing. Maybe a shot of this tree on the other side of the river with the sun behind it. Let's see what that looks like. Reset my focus point to the center. Guess it's not going to do that. I'm still learning this as I go, so. Something like that. If you can see down there, there's some golf balls in the river. Let's see, if I had a really wide lens, this would be a cool shot of the sand barge or sandbank, or whatever you call it, with the sun behind it, but I can't get that far away and still get it. Maybe I can get like half sand, half water. Another dead tree over there, asking for its picture to be taken. All right, back up here. Might be kind of a cool shot of this tree just out in the middle of nothing. Let's run back up here to this path and we'll see where else we can go before it gets dark. I am an Amazon affiliate. I'll put a link to this lens in the description if you want to buy a new one. This channel would get a very small commission for it. Wouldn't cost you any extra. However, I probably wouldn't buy this lens new. I'd find it on eBay or MPB. I'll put a link for MPB down in the description too. I think you can get $20 off a purchase through that link. So maybe check out MPB. That'd probably be the best place to buy it. Or eBay. Took a shot of another tree. Probably a bad composition, but we'll see when we get back to the computer. A lot of bends in this old river here. A lot of history here too. This is how, I don't know if you're familiar with, Naperville's like a western suburb of Chicago, about 32 miles west of Chicago. Founded or settled in I believe 1831. And founded by Joseph Napier. And this river is how he arrived to settle the area on a schooner named the Telegraph. I'm assuming the river was probably bigger at one point in history. I think you'd have a hard time taking a boat down it now. I don't know if that's a weeping willow tree up there with all the yellow on it that never did lose its leaves, maybe. Kind of pretty, though. Definitely not a great landscape lens with the 40mm minimum. But if you bring one more lens, bring a 12 to 40 or 12 to 50 or something like that with you, that would pretty much cover you. There's a goose. Let me see if I can catch it. At least give you an idea of a bird in flight shot. Of course, my shutter speed's way too low. But it'll give you an idea. Here's a composition maybe I can work with, but you got a big building in the background, but two bends in the river right here. Maybe something like that. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out what this is, if it's old farm equipment. I'm going to snap a picture of it and maybe we'll analyze it when I get back. I'm not sure what it is. And here's a tree next to the riverbank that just pretty much gave up on life. I'm going to be nosy. Let's go back there and see what that thing is that I took a picture of. All right, what on earth is this? Huh. like an old plow or like a bush hog type thing to cut the grass. I don't know. H176. God, it's been here a long time. Everything's grown over it. This old petrified looking piece of wood down here is kind of an eye catcher for me. Not a pretty picture per se, but it will help demonstrate the sharpness of this lens that I keep bragging about. My cheapo lens. I love my cheap stuff. This has 0 macro capabilities, but as with any zoom lens, you can zoom in from a distance and get macro type shots. Kind of dark. Let me lighten that up a little bit. Here you go. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed that little photo walk and a demonstration of this budget Micro Four Thirds Olympus lens. If you did, leave me a comment, hit the like button, and we do appreciate you watching. And I'll see you on the next video. Thanks.